Hey, this is Chris the Idaho Painter. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is one of many videos out of my new construction course. Everything you need to know about painting a new construction interior. If you want to see that course, it's over and available at paintlifesupply.com. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. We've got a lot more that you can see later on. Right, in this video, I'm going to be talking about back rolling, and I know that might be a question or topic that would come up when I'm doing the priming and stuff. So, we'll talk a little bit about, just back rolling in general. So back rolling enhances penetration and enhances adhesion on a porous surface. So a surface like glass, glass is non-porous, it's very slick and stuff. And so if you were to say a smooth metal door, a piece of glass, you spray some paint on there, back rolling it is not going to, help you out when it comes to pushing the product into a porous surface or enhancing the penetration or adhesion. But if you're doing like rough sawn wood, T111 siding, anything that's porous, drywall, back rolling could be beneficial to enhance, penetration and adhesion. So now the subject is, when I'm doing, an interior new construction, house, do I need to back roll the walls? So down here, this scenario, we've got a texture on here. This is Sun Valley texture. It's what we call Sun Valley here in Idaho, Treasure Valley. Some people call it skip trowel. Some people might call it something else. And where you can see white is the topping or mud skimmed over the drywall and right over the drywall paper and where it was taped, which the paper is the gray. So you have kind of like these smooth voids. So predominantly this wall is a really smooth wall. When they're eventually painted, they're super smooth. You run your hands down there, you can just lightly see these voids, but it's kind of like a level 5 finish with just some voids in it. It's a really cool looking texture. So the question is, should I back roll this, to enhance the penetration of the primer when you spray it on there? Now the primer I'm actually using is a PVA primer, which is a polyvinyl acetate primer. It's designed to be sprayed right over drywall topping and mud and over drywall. And it's kind of a thin primer product that's, intended to just absorb right in, soak and seal the rock and the drywall and the topping or the mud and seal it so you get an even finish, as a top coat. It's not designed to back roll. So what would happen if you back rolled this wall, because your thought process, hey, I need to, enhance penetration or, make touch-ups for the homeowner or for me as this, house gets, progresses, flooring gets installed, cabinets gets installed, people nicking and dinging the walls. If I was to take and spray this and back roll it, the primer is not designed to be back rolled, and so it's going to what we call stipple really bad. So it's going to take a smooth finish and now add stippling to it. And that in itself is going to probably for, in our area, the homeowners, the builders, they're not going to like it because they're expecting a smooth Sun Valley texture or skip trowel finish. And back rolling the primer isn't beneficial to you at all either, because you're going to be top coating over that primer. When you're spraying your top coat, you're going to be atomizing the paint, which actually changes the sheen and changes the color, slightly through the atomization and the crushing of the paint going through the airless tip. And so that in itself means that you're still going to have touch-up problems. So if you were actually going to back roll anything, you would spray your PVA primer on, which is designed to be sprayed and not back rolled. Then you would spray and back roll your top coat on there that's going over the top of your primer. And that way, if you were to get a nick in the middle of this wall right here and you touched it up with a brush, it's not a sprayed on finish. And so it's more likely going to match and not leave, a spot on the wall that has a different color or a different sheen doing the touch up. So there's a time and a place for everything. I would say also, you would only want to be back rolling if you're using a paint that is designed to back roll. Now, most contractor grade paints that we're using in new construction aren't really designed to back roll. They're less expensive. They don't have flow and leveling agents in them. So when you back roll them over the top of your primer, it doesn't flow and level and smooth out, so it's going to stipple it. So if you stipple your primer and then you spray on a top coat on top of that and you back roll that, now you've even added more stippling and more texture to your wall, which is not desirable. So if I had any option, if I wanted to back roll because I wanted to make touch-ups easier for me, touch-ups easier for the customer going down the road, and I wanted to back roll, I would spray my PVA primer on, and then I would spray a paint that was designed to back roll, and that's going to be a more expensive, higher end paint. And I know there's a paint, Benjamin Moore Aura is a paint that actually has flow and leveling agents in it. Cashmere, I've actually got experience with both of those products, and Cashmere was actually designed for level 5 finishes, smooth wall finishes, and that will flow out and level out, pretty nicely. If you back roll this wall, if you spray Cashmere on there and you back roll it, it's still gonna stipple it to a certain extent. So if the customer is expecting this wall to be, completely smooth, you're gonna have to explain that that expectation to them that it's not gonna be smooth. You have to explain that to the builder too. So the builder is not if he sees Sun Valley texture all over the place and you're a new painter come in and you spray and back roll it and it's not what he's accustomed to, coming from his other painters, you may end up running into a problem. So I think there's you're gonna have, there's a time and a place for everything. I would say predominantly, most new construction painters do not back roll anything. And I would say really the reason why is it takes more time and eventually it costs you more money because it's more labor intensive. Somebody's spraying, somebody's right behind them back rolling. And so you're adding another person that's the same amount of time, and labor as it is the person to spray. Then it's also extremely critical when you're actually back rolling. So I got a PVA primer on there that's still just a primer. I'm spraying the paint on the wall. If I spray, halfway around the room and then somebody starts back rolling it, your paint's gonna start drying, very, very quickly and coagulating very quickly, and you're gonna start back rolling it. It's gonna stipple it even worse. So the back roller has to be right behind you. If you're not priming at all, and which is very common in the new construction industry, is a painter just coming in and spraying this, one and done, blow and go is what they say. Now you're gonna be spraying the paint on, loading it on pretty heavy. It's gonna be absorbing really fast into the drywall and the mud, and it's gonna be drying quickly, and that's gonna cause, coagulation, drying, stippling, all kinds of issues with having, not a smooth texture. And I'll just kind of give you an example, how do I know all this? Well, a lot of the stuff I teach is from experience. So I never back rolled, anything in new construction. I ran into a job site, brand new builder, new home, $2 million home, and I, brought it up to the builder. Do you want this Sun Valley texture back rolled? Explained, what it is and the benefits to it, the drawbacks to it, everything. And he said, absolutely, I want you to back roll it. I'll pay you the extra to back roll it. We sprayed, back rolled the whole entire thing. Customer came in, was extremely upset, pissed off, basically. And because their expectations, which wasn't communicated, from the builder that there would be stippling on the walls, and from back rolling it, and they were extremely unhappy. And what happened? I was kicked off the job. So once again, sometimes I just like to give real world examples, and so you don't run into the same thing I did down the road. So it's a little bit about back rolling. You're gonna have to decide for yourself. I'm not back rolling this situation. I didn't back roll the PVA. I'm not going to be back rolling the top coat either, but I'm gonna be spraying a pretty high-end top coat on there that's gonna lend myself to being successful doing touch-ups, even if I get a nick or ding in the middle of the wall.